Today, we're making spicy chicken hand-pulled noodles. These noodles are chewy, bouncy, and spicy. With a mix of crunchy veggies, this dish is delicious and fantastic for lunch or dinner. Hand-pulled noodles may seem intimidating to make, but today I'll show you how to make these noodles from scratch, at home, into this delicious dish that you'll want to try. There's lots of restaurants that do hand-pulled noodles these days, but this one is something you can make at home for less money. It's a great recipe to impress others and won't disappoint. So, let's get cooking. In a bowl with 3 cups of all-purpose flour, add 1 teaspoon of salt and 200 milliliters of water. Mix until combined. We'll knead the dough for about 15 minutes. Cover with plastic wrap and let sit at room temperature for 25 minutes. Repeat the kneading process for another 10 minutes. Rest for another 25 minutes and repeat. This rest and kneading process will help get our noodles chewy and bouncy. Some places also like to twist their dough, and you can do that too while kneading. After 3 cycles of this knead and rest process, we'll cut our dough into pieces and flatten them out. These will become our hand-pulled noodle chunks later. We'll roll it out into flat wedges and cover the surface on both sides with oil. We can then leave them on this oil-covered tray. Try to make the length of the dough pieces the same size as your hand. If you have smaller hands or larger hands, make sure the length is the same size, as this will make pulling our noodles much easier later. Repeat this step for all of our dough. Cover with plastic wrap and refrigerate for at least 6 hours. While we wait, let's prep the veggies and protein. We can cut 1 cup of leeks into about 1.5 inch long pieces. This will give our dish some crunch and color. We can then slice about 1 cup of bamboo shoots into wedges. This is optional, but also adds some texture to the dish. Feel free to also add earwood mushrooms as well. Lastly, we'll chop 1 cup of Chinese celery. Regular celery is also okay. Chinese celery is just a bit more narrow. We can then take about 1/4 cup of whole dried chili peppers and cut into thirds. For the protein, we'll cut 1.5 chicken breasts into 1-inch cubes. You can also use pork, beef, or tofu. Set this aside. For the sauce, we'll measure a 3/4 cup of sweet bean sauce, 2 tablespoons of Shaoxing wine, 1 tablespoon of chili powder, and 4 tablespoons of Lao Gama chili crisp oil. If you can't handle spicy, then tone this back. On a wok set to high heat, add some neutral oil, then our chicken. Add 1 teaspoon of the sauce, and toss. Some chilies too. Toss some more, and once cooked, set this aside. Add all the chilies, then the veggies, and toss for about 1 to 2 minutes. Add back the chicken, then the sauce, toss it all together, and turn off the heat and set aside. To make the noodles, we'll use a straight line object to crease the center. Then using both hands, grab and pull on the dough. You can feel it stretching, and then you can bounce this stretch on a flat surface. Repeat until the dough is thin, and use that crease to pull the noodles apart. We can do this on both the short length or the long length to get different widths of noodles. I like this dish with wide noodles as it gets more of the spicy sauce. This may take some time to get used to. Tear the noodles apart, and in a pot of boiling water, add the noodles individually and allow to cook for 3 to 5 minutes. Use a spider to remove the noodles and repeat for all the noodles. This is where it takes some time to get used to, but really in the end it all tastes good. Practice makes perfect, so don't worry if you tear some of the noodles. You can of course make this with narrower noodles if you like. Use the spider to remove the noodles. And repeat for the rest of the dough. We can then take all the cooked noodles and add it to our toppings. Toss it all together. Make sure all the noodles are covered in the sauce. And boom, you have an amazing spicy chicken hand-pulled noodle. This is one of my all-time favorite dishes. A similar dish at a restaurant goes for about $18. However, this homemade version only costs about $5. What a good deal. And the flavor of the chili crisp oil sauce with the noodles is just amazing. All the veggies give this dish a crunch and just go so well with the chewy and bouncy noodles. There's something about making noodles from scratch that's just so satisfying. We can then pack this all up into takeout containers for lunch or dinner. This makes about 6 servings, which is great. If this looks delicious, then be sure to like and subscribe for more, and we'll see you next time.